Another One's Bread. That's a play focusing on 3 professional mourners in Khayelitsha in Cape Town, hired to cry at funerals. It's currently taking place at the Market Theatre in Johannesburg. The mourners pocket the wages, put some cash into a feeding scheme for children and round up any leftover funeral food to deliver to the hungry. Now, this production was commissioned by the Centre of Excellence in Food Security, a body set up by the Department of Science and Technology and the National Research Foundation. And to tell us more about the production, we joined in studio by actresses Hleli and Ditodi. Ladies, a very good morning and welcome.
Thanks
morning.
for having
Thank
us.
you for having us.
Now, this play casts the spotlight on something that people don't know yet, but something that's a growing trend, isn't it? I'm going to start with you.
Yes, it's a trend. It's happening, you know. People are hiring other people to go roll on the floor,
Gosh.
cry, threaten to jump in the grave because they want to be fabulous. Funerals have become this red carpet event, you know.
It's a spectacle now.
Yes, but fortunately for the not so fortunate, the poor, they can make extra money from that, you know, and they can take food, the leftover food, because, you know, black people, they slaughter 7 sheep.
Right.
It's a waste.
Right.
And there are people who need that food. So,
And why do people do that, though, this professional mourning business?
I mean, like I would just said, for some people it's a way of making extra money, but also when you think about the mourning process, you know, things have changed nowadays. People don't mourn the same way, and it's very cathartic and very therapeutic to cry. You know, it's science. You know, things have been.
But why do the
proven in
bereaved
that way.
families rope in the services of professional mourners?
Well, I don't think I can speak for other people, but I know in the play, for example, these 4 women, Awitu and myself being 2 of the characters that we play, and 2 other ladies played by Faniswa and Kuma, we have all roped together to feed hungry children. That's essentially what the reason why the mourners these professional mourners were started, in our production.
Take us through your character.
so I play Brenda, 19-year-old, from the Eastern Cape, failed matric, just came out of prison because she stole pads,
Yeah.
sanitary towels, she stole. Comes to Cape Town to her aunt, which is played by Garabo. And one of the conditions for her to join the substitutes, the professional mourners, is to get her matric. So in a way, Brenda represents the youth of our country. And for example, the matric results this year, Eastern Cape was the lowest, you know, so our education system also. So, yeah, I play the wild one.
Yeah.
She's wild.
Take us through your character.
So I want to mention something very, very interesting. All of our characters essentially represent communities of people, you know, and it's written in such a beautiful way by Mike van Graan. But to answer your question, I play a character named Andiswa, who is a single mom who is she's an estate agent, and she's trying to sell homes, but specifically to black people. And we all understand, we all know what the situation is like in Cape Town, you know, that it's quite difficult for black people. It's incredibly difficult for black people to buy and rent property there. And so my character is playing an estate agent who is struggling to make ends meet. And so we are all joined together by Umapumla, who's played by Faniswa, who starts the substitutes as she sees a niche in the gap. And she starts the substitutes, and she's like, actually, they're children who are very hungry. They go to school, they don't have food, and yet we have funerals every single weekend where food is just wasted. So she saw a gap in that market, and she said, okay, let's collect the food, give it to hungry children, and and as a result of that, she was like, okay, well, there's also a service that we can offer, and that's to cry on other people's behalf.
And it's interesting how you say it, find a niche in the gap.
Yes, businesswoman. Business, yeah, business.
What was it like working with Mike van Graan on this?
It was, so Mike wrote, we got the script, and when he came like 2 weeks after rehearsals, he was like, well, some of my writing is in there because of, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
The process, like working with Pamela Noviti, she's a phenomenal woman.
Oh, she's
you
awesome,
know,
that one.
we
She's
entered. I
amazing.
remember we entered the room, the rehearsal room for the very first time. It was empty. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was just packed. There were like characters, you know, things growing. So no, Mike is brilliant. He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Now, in as much as this play touches on the issue of professional mourners, it also touches on more serious issues like food security. So what message would you like us to take after watching this film?
Well, not giving too much away, but the production, as much as we do touch on very serious issues, and the play is very satirical, but it's also a dark comedy. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. And essentially, you know, the message that is sent is that, you know what, it's possible to not wait for government funding necessarily, for people to actually be able to go out there and make a living for themselves and do something and make a difference in their communities.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who should see this production? Who is it aimed at?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Because we all
Black,
eat. We all
white,
eat.
male, female, you know, it's same as its offense, you know, it offends everyone.
Okay.
So, yeah, but mostly for me, personally, I would love young black women to go see this, because also as 4 black women on stage, that's a statement on its own.
It is a statement,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Fanny said the other day that black actors are usually playing communities. They never play characters, and white people do. So it's very empowering, you know, in our industry for young black actors.
Okay, so some of us might not have been to some of these funerals. So can you just give us a glimpse of what actually happens with the professional mourners in the funeral? What do they do?
Well, I mean, if you think of, you know, so you're crying on other people's behalf, essentially, you know, and there's going to be lots of crying at funerals. And so our service is to cry on behalf of everyone. So the crying is for everyone. It's big.
No, it's big.
Yeah.
And apparently,
4 different cries.
and apparently they also threatened to get into the grave.
Yes, that's even more money. That's even more money.
Oh, they charge higher.
It's an extra charge.
They ask the family, so what would you like? Rolling on the floor,
So-
threat to jump
So it
into...
comes with packages.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Gosh, this is so sad, though. It's a laughing matter, but it's very sad.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for chatting to us this
Thank
morning.
you for having us.
Well, these are the ladies, Hleli and Ditodi, talking to us about Another One's Bread, a play that's actually focusing on 3 professional mourners in Khayelitsha in Cape Town. Let's go in for an ad break now. We'll be right back.